Jason&Jabari.
What's up, guys? This is Jason from the Jason and Jabari Gaming, and today I wanted to talk to you guys about the 7-star rare selector. So let me start off by saying I am not suggesting that we are going to get this selector the banquet milestones. Since I'm part of the CCP, I gotta kind of talk this way. I know it's kind of weird, but I don't want you guys to misconstrue what I'm saying. Also, within that, I don't want to give you guys false hope and pretend like we're going to get something that we very well may not get. However, that being said, we are 3 milestones off. So we need approximately 1.2 billion points, and we've been knocking it out of the park. So it's a possibility that we could end up getting this champion selector. So you have Vision, you have Kang, and you have Thanos. Some people know about these champions, what they can do. Some people do not. My job today, right now, is going to show you what they can do. Largely, most of these champions do need synergies, but some work without them. They all do work without synergies, but the synergies do help them, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to talk about each champion, and I'm going to showcase and display some of the unique synergies that I think are good, and then I'm going to give you guys the advice of who you should take at the very end. Okay, so we're going to start off here, and the first person that we're going to be talking about is Thanos. Now, don't pay attention to the numbers, because my Thanos, as you can see, champion info, he's SIG 200, but he's only a 4 out of 5, so he's not maxed out. But my Kang and my Vision both are rank 6s. So that wouldn't be a fair comparison. So all I want you to do is pay attention to what I'm telling you, what the champions can do. I've already wrote down a bunch of notes for this for you guys, and I kind of just want to talk about what they have going on. So here's the Mad Titan himself, Thanos, at a rank 3 SIG 200. So as a 7-star, guys, is what we're talking about. So not this. His actual health size is pretty substantial. His HP is 98,406, which that's almost 100k health, guys. So that's pretty big. His normal attack would be 6,300. His crit would be 424. His crit damage 1,115. His block proficiency would be 2,215, and his armor would be 1,169. So there's the stats for you guys. His abilities, as you guys, if you can't already tell, he gets a chance to get armor. He has a fury buff. He has a heal block, and he has direct damage, which ignores like basically armors and stuff like that, right? Okay, so let's go in here, and we're going to beat up on Winter Soldier, basically utilizing him for all aspects. I guess we'll start off just with some showing you what he normally does, his animations and stuff like that. So anyway, like I said, he has a chance to gain an armor up. He has a chance to gain a fury. All of his specials do a 7-second heal block. I'll probably put that somewhere in the video when I have them up all again. But yeah, they all do have a heal block. All 3 of them. It's just you get them different ways. But they all 3 do have a chance to heal block, or they all 3 heal block. So yeah, So there's how the special 2 looks. There's nothing extra that his specials do aside from apply the heal block, but he does have the dopest special 3 animations. I think one of the coolest in the game. His looks so sick to me, which I'm gonna hurry up and show you guys. But yeah, I guess his numbers are okay. Again, I wouldn't quote these numbers because this is only a rank 4 6-star, while the others will be rank 6s. But yeah, so here's a special 3 animation. I think it's super cool. And then we're going to exit out, and then we're going to go into the synergies that I think you would be using in various places. But yeah, to me, that's super sick. So yeah, we can go ahead and exit on out, and then we'll restart. And the first synergy that I wanted to show you guys, I'm probably going to just to expedite this because this could be really long if not. To expedite this, I'm going to go ahead and give you guys all 3 synergies at once that I think are worthy synergies in my opinion to put him with. So the first one that I think is pretty good is Gallon. Essentially what this does is it allows him to get a indestructible buff if he would be knocked out for 8 seconds, which I think is huge. That's longer than a Heimdall. So if you were ever to take him into like I said, well, actually I haven't said yet, but if you were to take him into war, which I think he actually could be good for the lower tier wars, I don't think he'll be that great for higher tier wars. But you know what, I've taken in Kang in higher tier wars and he's done fine. So I guess if you find a niche path, it could potentially save you as opposed to using a Heimdall, because you only get 2 synergies. Another synergy, we're going to bring in more than that though for the sake of time. Another one that I think is probably one of the best that he has is with Overseer, and that allows him to get a power gain buff every time he gets a Fury buff. And as you saw when I was hitting, he gets the Fury buff quite frequently, so he's also going to be gaining power quickly. And the last synergy that I think some people might find interesting is the Jessica Jones synergy, which actually if once you fill a bar of power, you get in this order a dormant charge of an unblockable, and then a true damage, which doesn't really do anything because he already gets that, and then you get a 40% prowess charge. The time that these activate is when you throw your specials, and I'll showcase that real quick. So we're going to go in with everybody real fast, and I'm going to just basically show you everything real quick. So yeah, here we go, going in here, and I'll shout out the synergies as they come. But the first synergy is the JJ synergy. You see that passive unblockable there, and since we gained that Fury buff, that is the Overseer buff right there, giving us a power gain, and they stack, by the way. So now that's JJ again. I'm going to throw off the special 3. We're going to skip past it because I already showed it to you guys. Now all of those actually detonated. You can see the true strike, the unblockable, and the prowess, but just for so you guys can actually see it in action, I'm just going to stick to the special 1 this time. And when I throw it off, it's going to be unblockable. You see that? Boom, unblockable. And that's the JJ synergy. I think that's pretty good. I think that's pretty clutch in my opinion. And then we'll go in that sequence of orders. And again, we get the power gain because we got another Fury buff. And there's the unblockable again at 1 bar. So now we need to go to our second bar of power, which gives us the true strike or the true damage, whichever one. True damage, I'm sorry. And we throw it off and they go live. And now we're up to our prowess, so I'm going to throw that off, and there's our prowess buff. And that's how it works with JJ and how it works with Overseer. I actually think that's pretty good. There's the chance for the armor up to proc. As you guys can see, I don't know, it's random. It's like a 11% chance, I believe. It's a small chance. It's not a very big chance, but it can come in clutch. It can help out a little bit. And as you can see, I'm getting beat up intentionally so we can get to that indestructible, so I can show you guys with Gallon. While we're getting beat up, I will say the places that I believe he would be good for. Low tier Alliance War, I could definitely see you bringing him in as a rank 3 Sig 200, by the way. I'm talking rank 3 Sig 200s. I do think they all benefit from their signature abilities. I know this will be the first time that some of you are getting them, and that would probably not be the best for a lot of people to rank 3 until they can get some of these guys awakened and high Sig. Vision definitely wants it. Thanos wants it if you're going to use him in certain areas. And Kang doesn't actually need it at all, but it is very, very nice for his armor. But back to Thanos while he's sitting there getting pummeled by the Winter Soldier. Yeah, low tier war, I think you guys will be fine bringing him in with the synergy with Gallon. I think that would be really, really good for you guys. Also, you guys could probably bring in Overseer, so that could be your trio team. There is the indestructible buff as you guys see it. I think it'll be good for general questing and specific battlegrounds metas. As a rank 3 Sig 200, he's going to be a problem. His signature ability passively reduces the opponent's base attack by 40%, which is a pretty significant amount. So in niche metas where you can only do damage a certain way, and there's not a real lot of other ways to do damage or dot damage or something like that, he actually would shine, I think, and he'd be a tank because, again, he almost has 100k health, and if they can only do 40% of their base attacks, it's going to take an incredibly long time to drop him in battlegrounds, and you only have 2 minutes. So there's something. General questing, like I said, I think he'd be pretty good for. Now, in long form content, I think he'd be okay at certain long form contents, but I don't think he'd be the best. And again, that's assuming that you're going to bring in some synergy partners with him. But that's it for Thanos. Hopefully that helps some of you guys. But let's go ahead and move on to the next candidate, shall we? Let's go ahead and move over to my boy OG Vision, Yellow Pants Vision, OGV. All right. We're just going to go in with him once again by himself, like we did kind of with Thanos. Let me give you his stats real quick. His and again, guys, this is all based off of Sig 200s. That's what I'm talking about specifically. His HP is 87,081. His normal attack is 6,000, or actually, let me just click on it so you guys can actually see him while I'm talking about this. His normal attack is 6,387. His crit is 7,707, 777, baby. His crit damage is 1,463. His armor is 4,623. His block proficiency, or I'm sorry, his block proficiency actually was 4,623. Excuse me. So yeah, I mean, he's all right. As far as stats are concerned, he was made a while ago, a very long time ago. But yeah, he basically controls the fight. His whole shtick is power control. Now, he's going to start off the fight at max Sig with a bar and a half of power, which is 50% of power. Now, he also can heal block, but you have to drain them to 0 in order to get the heal block. That's the kick with him, but it's 7 seconds, so it's not a bad heal block. His SP1 drains up to 39% of power of your opponent. The SP2 will drain them completely. Like you just saw, 100%, even if they had 3 bars, it's all gone, assuming they can be power drained. And the SP3, as we're about to see here, it only drains 33% of a bar of power. So it actually does the least. So that's probably the thing that you don't want to use the most. Yeah, and we'll just let him beat up on us for a minute here while I'm talking. So basically, the synthesis also is a stick, which again gives you 50% of a bar of power, which you just saw. And you just kind of want to spam your SP2s and SP1s. You can get really aggressive with it. I have taken him into battlegrounds. He does what they call power burn, and it deals a certain amount based off the power stole. That's considered to be power burn. And then of course he's going to synthesize, which gives him the 50% if he's at SIG 200. It's less than that per scaling, and it happens randomly, allegedly. So yeah, so now we're gonna quit out of that fight. I do like Vision. He doesn't hit very hard technically, in my opinion, or most people's opinion, but he is a solid power control champion. Let me go to his synergies that I think are actually, I think he has some okay synergies. I don't think he has really good synergies, so I think he's more of a solo act. But he does have some decent synergies. So the first synergy we're going to throw in there is Captain America Infinity War, and basically this just allows him to be like Prowler. Essentially, like when they throw off a special, they lose the rest of the power. So that was decent, I thought. He has the Warlock synergy, and what this synergy does is whenever the teammate would receive a debuff they're immune to, they gain a fury buff, increasing attack rating by 60%. That could be used on like some hazard shift nodes or something like that, or you're going up against a specific fight that you're immune to. He does great for biohazard because that's bleed and poison, which he's a robot, so he's immune to both. So he has a little bit of immunities going on there, which is pretty cool. He has the Scarlet Witch synergy, the Switch, as we like to call her, because she's the Sigil Witch. And this basically, you have to land a heavy while they're heal blocked, and you get 1000% of attack rating for Fury, which can't stack. And the problem with that, honestly, guys, is you only get 7 seconds, so it's doable. You have to power drain them, parry heavy, and then it'll apply. So it's doable, but it's not really feasible in my opinion in most scenarios. But he also has a synergy with himself, essentially, which is not a self synergy in that sense, but another Vision Arcus. And basically this allows him to power burn, also grants a fury buff for 6 seconds, and the potency increases with the amount of power burn. So it's all right. And then he has Iron Man Infinity War, which I'm just going to show you guys. I'm not going to actually put it in there because these are just okay synergies. I don't think these are like groundbreaking or anything like that. I just think they're okay synergies. So I'm going to show you guys real quick, which is right here. Power burn deals 20% more damage. So it's right there. And then we're just going to showcase some of the things real quick running there. But again, I don't really think he needs any of these things. We're definitely going to hopefully get shot by the SP1 off of the Winter Soldier, because it's supposed to cause bleed, and he's a bleed immune. So I could try to capture that. If we don't get it, that's unfortunate. But yeah, so we're going to start off here, and we're going to throw out the SP1. We're going to parry if we can, and heavy, boom. You see that stacking fury buff right there? That was it right there. That gave us the 1000% extra attack rating. So that's fine. We actually need him to throw off the special one. Please throw it off. Okay, so there it is. It actually did not cause the bleed on that one, so we'll have to try one more time. Please throw it off. No? Okay. Yeah, maybe. Dude, there you go. And no, once again. So it didn't work, but I'm going to try it one more time, and then we're just going to move on. But yeah, so we're going to try it one more time. Here we go. There it is. All right, so you see that fury buff? That was it. That's what we gained from the synergy. So, I mean, they're all fine. They're okay. I don't think any is game breaking. I think they're just nice to haves for specific things. I just think that they're fine. But while we're getting beat up now, I'm going to tell you guys what I think he's going to be good for. And again, this is just my opinion. You guys can take it or leave it. He can be used in high tier war. I've taken him in high tier war. He actually can be very viable. He can be good for hazard shift nodes, specific ones, of course. And there was a meta, a war meta that he really shined in, where a lot of people were taking up OGV or regular Vision, and then I also took up Kang long before this, and I took Kang into war because of this meta, where basically they could one-shot you with a single special and you were rooted. I forgot the name of that meta, but he really shined in that meta, and that was Masters Wars, by the way. He also can be used in general questing. AQ, he'd be fine. I've taken him into AQ several times. He'd be fine there. He will not be good for long form content, in my opinion, but that's where I think he would be most useful, and probably won't be very useful for. So those are the areas, and then we're gonna go on to our last candidate, and that is Kang. Kang is my favorite champion in this game, so let me go ahead and say that right now. I do have a biased opinion when it comes to Kang, personally, but I'm a huge Kang fan, so I think it's important that you guys do know that. So with Kang at again max sig, his HP is 80,443. His attack, his normal attack is 8,519. His crit is 807. His crit damage is 1,519. His block proficiency is 4,800, which is actually pretty high in my opinion. His armor is 676. Now, with his armor, his signature ability allows him at max sig to get an armor rating of 7,805.09 armor rating. It scales with the amount of power stored, so he goes basically becomes, you know, more and more durable basically during the fight, the more power you hold on to, much like Wolverine heals based off of health or bars of power stored. He kind of gains armor that way, so think of that. All right, so Kang does also have a heal block, but it's on his special 3. His special 1, as you guys are about to see, does a stun for 2.4 seconds, and if you have a relic on him, you can extend that and do what they call the stun lock, which is nice. But yeah, he also has an armor, I should say that. So there's that armor helping him a little bit. We're going to get to the special 2 here in just a moment. And the special 2 completely drains them of all their power, much like Vision's SP2. And then we're going to get to the SP3 here in just a second. Okay, nice. Thank you. You didn't want that actually, but that's cool. So yeah, it's really with Kang synergies that really make him shine, in my opinion, with the single synergy that he has with Kang. But he can do fights. It's just gonna take a lot longer for him to do them without this synergy, which is why some people say that they don't really care for him, which is fair in my opinion to say that, because a lot of champions now rely on just the champions themselves. But you guys got to remember, he was one of the beginning champions in the very first, I think, banquet thing that they had back almost, what, 10 years ago or something like that. He's a very old champion, but his kit is still pretty good. It's not as broken as some kits as the modern times, but it's still pretty good. So there's a special 3. Applied the 12-second heal block. We're going to go ahead and quit out. And then we're going to go ahead and show you the synergy that I think is the best. So we're going to team select. Ooh, excuse me. All right, so he has the APOC synergy, which allows him basically to gain a fury buff, and it stacks up to 20. So every 4 seconds. So every 4 seconds he'll gain an indefinite fury buff, and it stops at 4. I don't really think any other synergies are really good for him. He does have a synergy with Weapon X, which I'll go here and show you. It's okay, and it basically allows him to get a fury buff for 50% of his base attack for 15 seconds. That works for Thanos as well. That's just okay. I don't think it's necessary, but I think it's okay. And then yeah, I think he also has one with Maestro, and I think Thanos has one with Maestro as well. And what this does for them is it gives them 100 armor rating, 100 critical rating, 100 critical damage rating, and a little bit of extra block proficiency, and then double when fighting the final node. And that's for Kang and Thanos. I think it's okay. I don't think it's anything beyond okay. But here's the real kicker that I wanted to show you guys with Kang. This is the one that I take into high tier war. This serves a dual purpose in high tier war because Apocalypse ramps up on the very first fight he takes. So this allows you to horseman one of your teammates, which is huge. It definitely helps out having a horseman anywhere on the map moving forward, especially if you can have your first fight on the beginning paths for the second path, or for mini island, or for the boss, or any of the other minis. So that's pretty good in my opinion, because you'd be more incentivized to take in Kang as a synergy partner. But anyway, as you can see, we have a fury buff, and that is going to continuously stack. So yeah, that's going to go all the way up to 20, and he's going to hit harder and harder and harder, and I love it, which is why I think that he will be good for high tier war. I've tested this theory. I have many videos out. Definitely check those out if you haven't. I think he'll be good for long form content such as Necropolis and things like that, because he's going to ramp up. He's going to hit harder and harder, and he's going to do a significant amount of damage. That was a 70k crit, by the way, on what, 10 Furies. But I've done substantial critical hits. I have soloed some of the LOL fights. I've soloed the AOL fights. I haven't done any Necropolis fights with him, but again, at a SIG 200 rank 3 7-star, he definitely is solo on Necropolis pool healths, with the relic, of course. And yeah, man, I think he is really good for those. I do not think he's going to be good for battlegrounds. He's not a good BG attacker, whereas Vision and Thanos can be used in battlegrounds and can be good in battlegrounds. I do not think will be, and he hasn't been. Now, if you're a lower tier and you think you can want him in there and you think you can do something with him, show me. I would love to see it, but for the high tier, he's just not going to work. There was a meta where you get armor burn if they have an armor up, so he could potentially be a defensive threat there, but not really, in my opinion. He could be used for AQ if you want to, for general questing, and yeah, man, that's honestly about it. So I know this has been a long video. Hopefully this, guys, helps you out in making your decision. And my biggest and best piece of advice And lastly, before we close this thing out, is who to choose. The answer to that is, drum roll please, your choice. That is the correct answer. Whoever you choose is the correct answer, because it's your account and it's your choice. I'm not here to make the decision for you. I'm just here to show you what some of these champions can do. I like Kang. He's my favorite champion in the game. That doesn't mean you need to like Kang. But if you like Vision, take Vision. If you like Thanos because you like the Mad Titan, you don't honestly need a reason, guys, other than you want that champion at that specific time. It's all on you guys. So hopefully this video helps you guys. Please, for me, like and subscribe. Share this video with your friends, especially if we're going to get this selector, because it might help someone make a decision. And for that, I'm truly happy for. Let me know what you guys think of my assessment of these champions. If you agree, disagree, just be respectful. If you thought this was a good thing, if you think I should do more things like this in the future, let me know, guys. You guys, I love engaging with you guys. I will respond to each and every one of you. And yeah, man, just help hit the like button to push us through the algorithm so we can continue to grow. But with that being said, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.